Hi students, welcome back to my channel. For today, our lesson is all about temperature and heat. Our learning competency is to explain the difference between heat and temperature. For our learning objectives, we want to be able to relate heat, temperature, and internal energy with one another and explain the conditions necessary for heat transfer to occur. So let's start with the concept of internal energy and temperature. What is internal energy? Internal energy is defined as the total energy of the particles in a body. On the other hand, when we say temperature, it refers to the measure of the average energy of motion of particles. So anong ibig sabihin po nito? So in this picture, we have three different objects. The first one has a temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. The second one has a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, while the third object has a temperature of 40 degrees Celsius. Ngayon, ano pong napapansin po ninyo doon sa movement ng particles as shown by the GIF? Okay, so tama po, no? Magkakaiba po ng motion or movement yung mga particles. We will notice that the object with a temperature of 5 degrees Celsius has significantly slower movement of the particles compared to that of a 20 degrees Celsius and of course the one with the 40 degrees Celsius. So mapapansin po natin, pinakamabilis po yung may highest temperature. So yun po yung ibig sabihin dito ng average energy of motion of particles. So the higher the temperature, the faster the particles will move if we look at the microscopic level. Pag sinabing microscopic level, ito po yung mga particles po ng isang object. To better visualize the difference between internal energy and temperature, let's have this picture. So on the left, we can see a kettle and a cup of tea. So let's say the kettle has a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius kasi nag-boil yung water doon sa kettle. Then, naglipat tayo or nagsalin po tayo ng 100 degrees Celsius na water doon sa ating cup of tea. So, what is now the temperature of the tea? Of course, initially it is 100 degrees Celsius. Therefore, we can say that the temperatures are the same. However, in terms of internal energy, kung mas marami po or puno po yung laman ng ating kettle, then we can say that it has more internal energy compared to the cup of tea. Why? Kasi technically, it has more matter in it. Mas marami siyang laman. Ngayon, kung mas maraming mass yung isang matter, mas maraming energy din yung kailangan para ma-reach niya yung temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. That's why it is easier to boil a small amount of water compared to a larger amount of water. Okay po, so yun po yung pagkakaiba ng dalawa. Now, let's move on to the concept of heat. So, what is heat? Heat is referred to the transfer of internal energy from a warmer object to a cooler one. That's why it's quite redundant to say transfer of heat kasi heat itself is a transfer of internal energy. So, kailan ba nangyayari ang transfer of internal energy? This only happens when there is a difference in temperature. Katulad po nung nasa picture, we can see na nagkaroon po tayo ng movement dito because there's a difference in temperature. You have a warm object and a cool object that are placed next to one another. So again, the movement is from warmer to a cooler one. For example, meron po tayo dito sa kanan na picture ng kamay and you also have ice. Obviously, the hand is warmer compared to the ice. So therefore, the heat is transferred or the thermal energy is transferred from the hand towards the ice. Similarly, ganun din po yung nangyayari dito po sa ating pan. Siyempre, the source of heat is the fire coming from the stove and therefore, that heat is transferred on the water or on the soup, kung ano man po yung niluluto po dyan. So ito po yung sinasabi natin. Internal energy or thermal energy is transferred only when there is a difference in temperature. So let's say that you have two objects A and B and the temperature of A is higher than that of B. Let's say A has 50 degrees Celsius and B is at 25 degrees Celsius. So the direction of the transfer of internal energy or thermal energy is from A to B. Now, if that is reversed, let's say mas mainit si B compared kay A, then yung arrow natin is going from B to A. Now, ma'am, ano naman po mangyayari kung equal po yung temperature ni A at saka ni B? If that happens, that the temperature of A and B are equal to one another, then heat is not transferred or thermal energy is not transferred. Alright, let's now move on to the modes of thermal energy or heat transfer. So we have three types of heat transfer. So we have conduction, convection, and radiation. In these three types, ang pagkakaiba lang nila is kung ano yung medium na nakakapag-transfer yung thermal energy natin. Let's start with conduction. Ano po yung conduction? Conduction is a type of thermal energy transfer that occurs through direct contact, and most especially, this happens in solids. Sa example natin, we have a candle and we have a rod. Of course, the candle will heat up the rod and therefore the thermal energy will be transferred mula po rito sa part na to papunta doon sa pinakadulo kung saan malapit yung kamay. So therefore, after some time, mapapaso tayo kasi nga the heat is transferred by a process called conduction. Bakit nga siya ulit conduction? Because the medium is a solid. Marami tayong example ng heat transfer by conduction kapag gumagamit ng any kind of heat conductor. That's why when we are cooking, it is important for us to use insulators. Katulad po ng mga pot holder para hindi po tayo mapapaso kapag tayo ay humahawak ng mga may init natin na magamit sa kusina. Next, convection. Convection is also another method of heat transfer. However, the difference is that this occurs in liquids and gases or in fluids. For example, sa picture po natin, meron tayong fire coming from the stove. However, the water inside the pot heats up using convection. Ma'am, paano po yung bakal po? Halimbawa, sabihin natin na itong pot natin igawa sa bakal. Of course, since bakal yon, conduction muna. Pero yung init galing sa bakal, magta-transfer siya papunta doon sa tubig via convection. So, paano? In a convection process, na-apply natin yung hot fluid goes up and cold fluid goes down. Yun po yung pinapakita dito sa picture na red, yun po yung mainit. Tapos yung blue, yun naman po yung malamig. So technically, hindi talaga siya malamig pero it is colder compared to the one na umangat. So ma'am, ano po yung umaangat? Siyempre, sa first part ng heating process natin, yung unang umiinit na part ng tubig is yung ilalim. So therefore, there will come a time na yung ilalim na to ay iinit compared sa nasa taas. So what happens? Again, hot fluid rises. So yung mainit na tubig sa ilalim ay aangat. Papalitan niya yung medyo mainit lang or comparatively colder fluid or liquid on top. So bababa po yun. And then, a cycle happens. Nagkakaroon tayo ng parang convection current kung saan patuloy na umiinit yung ilalim, iaangat niya, paikot-ikot lang hanggang sa matapos po yung heating process doon sa ating fluid. In this example, we have a liquid. So, ganun po yung nangyayari. Pwede rin siya sa gases. Now, how does convection work in gases? Let's use air conditioners as an example. Some of you may have air conditioners at home. So, paano nga ba nag-work ang air conditioner? An air conditioner gives out cold air which falls. So, paano ba nagkakaroon ng cold air ang air conditioner? The first thing that it has to do is to absorb the warm air inside the room. So, ang ginagawa niya, yung warm air, kinukuha niya, pinapalitan niya ng cold air. Tapos, yung cold air na yon, pag lumabas na po dun sa air conditioner, is nagsisink siya. Bakit siya nagsisink? Kasi nga yung principle natin that warm air rises and cold air will sink. So, ganun, nagkakaroon lang po ng cycle inside the room. That's why, ang pinakabagandang pwesto ng air conditioner ay hindi sa bandang baba ng room, kundi nasa taas, para hindi mahirapan sa pag-absorb ng warm air. So, ganun po si convection, which is, again, a method of heat transfer that happens in liquids and in gases. Finally, the third one is called radiation. Radiation happens when you have vacuum because it is the transfer of heat via electromagnetic waves. So, ma'am, possible ba yun? Of course, possible yun. Yung heat coming from the sun, it travels towards the earth. Nararamdaman natin yung init ng araw dahil sa radiation. Okay? Hindi naman yan makakatravel from sun to earth kasi total space po yan eh. Wala pong solid, liquid, or gas in between the sun and the earth. Of course, pag pumasok na yung heat sa loob ng earth, meron ng hangin, convection na yon. Pero from the sun going to the earth through space, we call that radiation. I have here a picture of a candle flame. So a candle flame is a very good example showing all types of thermal energy transfer. Paano natin makikita si conduction, convection, at radiation dito? Of course, number one, conduction. Yung wick ng ating candle, because of the flame, the wick also becomes hotter or the temperature rises, which causes the candle to melt. So that is conduction because the candle is a solid. Now, how about convection? Ito yung medyo nakakalito, no? Ma'am, bakit po si convection nasa taas? Bakit po si radiation nasa gilid? So, maybe some of you na kapag laro na ng kandila, kapag brown out, minsan tinatry ninyo na ilagay yung kamay ninyo sa gilid at sa taas ng flame. So, when you place your hand above the flame and you feel an increase in temperature, then that is due to convection. Why? Again, because warm air rises. So, the surrounding air on the flame will become warm because of the flame and then it will rise. So, therefore, yung hangin sa ibabaw ng flame ay mainit, yun ay dahil sa convection. Ngayon, if you place your hands beside the flame and you still feel warmth, then that is due to radiation. Why radiation? Kasi nga, most of the air already went up because of convection. So, technically, wala na halos air na natitira sa paligid ng flame. That's why the warmth felt if you place your hands in this side would be due to radiation. Clear po yung difference ng tatlo? Okay, so kung naintindihan na po natin, let's try to identify the mode of heat transfer involved in each of the following situations. First one, the sun provides warmth to a person standing under its light. So, na-emphasize po natin yan. Kanina, sun. So, again, paano nakakarating ang init ng sun papunta sa earth? That is due to radiation. Number 2, this method of heat transfer distributes warm air from sunlight throughout the entire house. We have a clue here, sabi dito, warm air. If the heat transfer occurs in a fluid such as liquid or gas, then it is correct, convection. How about this? When roasting marshmallows, it is better to use a tree twig than a metal rod as the rod can get very hot and difficult to hold. So, hinahawakan natin. So, pag hinahawakan natin, then that is direct contact and therefore we can classify that as conduction. Very good. Next, Number 4, to prevent ice from melting, use a cooler. That is conduction. Bakit siya conduction? Kasi syempre, nagmi-melt yung ice natin kapag yan ay nakadikit sa isang bagay na mas mataas ang temperature sa kanya. Tandaan po natin yon. Number 5, Earth also emits heat into space. Space po yan, so vacuum, therefore that is radiation. Number 6, this mode of heat transfer brings warmth from the Earth's interior to its surface as it pushes the plates under the ground, leading to the occurrence of earthquakes and the formation of volcanoes. So this concept is being discussed in grade 10. Ang tawag dito ay yung mga currents na nagpo-push ng mga plates, we call them convection currents. So therefore, convection currents, kaya convection. So bakit siya considered convection? Kasi yung heat transfer ay nangyayari sa mantle, which is a fluid. Number 7, an electric fan makes the air move faster, o air ulit yan, that's a clue, in a room which can enhance the transfer of warmth from your body into the air. So kapag air po, gas, that is convection. Number 8, the global movement of the ocean helps distribute heat throughout Earth. So again, ocean, that is a liquid, so convection. Number 9, when you step on a tile, heat can transfer more easily from your feet onto the tile. There is direct contact, therefore that is conduction. Very good. And finally, glider pilots utilize thermals, upward currents of warm air to ascend to higher altitudes. Again, there's a mention of air, which is a gas. Therefore, it is convection. So I hope this short discussion gave you a better understanding of the different types of heat transfer as well as the concepts of internal energy, heat, and temperature. So that's all for today. I hope you can like this video and please subscribe to my channel. See you in my next video. Bye!